Sabriyyah and I am back with another video. So today is June 30th. Hold on, let me see something. My last day of work was June 7th, and yeah, so in this video I'm going to just be talking about my experience as a first year teacher, things I may have learned, and like what's going on next year. So before I get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I know I say this like all the time that I'm gonna be more consistent. It's just really, I don't know, like I want to be a YouTuber, but it's just a lot going on, and it's not always my first thought to pick up my camera. But in order for me to be more consistent, I think that's what I need to be doing. So I'm going to try to do better this next school year, because I really didn't do anything. I really didn't record anything like I was supposed to for this past school year. Okay, but enough rambling. Okay, yeah, that's enough rambling. So yeah, I'm going to talk to you all about this school year. I feel like everyone should know this, that being a first year teacher is never easy. Okay, when you are in your first year of teaching, it will never be like a walk in the park. It will never be like that. Now, it was different for the first year teachers this past school year, because not only were they first year teachers, but we were also in the middle of a pandemic. And I know it took a toll on all teachers everywhere, but especially first year teachers. Okay, and I don't think anyone had the experience that I had. Like, y'all, it was crazy. I'm gonna do like an overview of what happened. So yeah, so as you all know, if you've been following me, you know that last summer I was preparing to teach first grade, because that's what I wanted to teach. Like, I wanted to teach first grade because I had experience teaching second grade, and I knew that I wanted to be in the primary grades. I did not want to be in the intermediate grade levels. So I knew that I wanted to teach first grade for a fact, and you know, I was applying. Well, I wasn't applying. I was calling or looking to see what schools had first grade positions. And, you know, I called a few, and I've had multiple offers, but the school I chose is the one I chose. And so I was supposed to teach first grade. And so I had them brought all these materials. If you watched my videos from last summer, I was buying all these materials, books, and everything, getting prepared for first grade. So I got hired for first grade, and you know, I was setting up my classroom. I was late. I was not able to make my first day of work because I was doing my army stuff. But when I finally came, I was setting up my room. I was on the first grade kindergarten hall, and I was getting ready for first grade. And it was pretty exciting. Okay, I had got my keys. I had got my badge made and everything. And so yeah, I was teaching first grade, and the first day of school I only had 4 students come. And I made the best of it. Okay, I took their pictures with the little sign I had that said first day of first grade, and it was just awesome. And they loved me, and I loved them. Like, they would tell my assistant principal how pretty and nice I was, and I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, y'all, first grade, those are the babies, and I love them, like, y'all. But yeah, so I was teaching first grade in person. Then I want to say like a week or 2 later, my principal came and sat with me, or she called me or something, to let me know that I was getting moved to virtual. Now, I was really horrified, because I felt like all the other teachers, they had experience teaching virtually because of the pandemic when it first started. But me, I had just graduated. I didn't have any experience with teaching virtually, because the school that our student taught at, that district, they did not have one-to-one technology for the students. So those students were not being taught virtually. Like, they were just given packets, and that's what they did for the rest of the school year, I think. So I didn't have that experience, and plus I was new to everything, especially Microsoft Teams. So it was a lot to learn, but I did have support from the teacher that was teaching virtually, because what ended up happening was she ended up moving to kindergarten virtually and I was teaching first grade virtually. So that happened. I was kind of crushed because I really wanted to be able to run my own classroom and stuff, but that got taken away because I had to get moved to virtual. So I had to I just had to figure out all these different things. And my principal and assistant principal, they were really impressed by how, you know, I managed things in a short amount of time, how I was getting the flow of things. And yeah, so I got moved to virtual, and you know, I was working with those kids, and it was okay. I was starting to learn more and more, and learning how to navigate the systems, understand the curriculum a little better, because we were using Ready Reading, that's based off of iReady, and then we were using Duval Math, which is basically Eureka Math. So I was kind of getting the hang of the curriculum that we were using, and then a few weeks later, I want to say close to the end of September, I found out that I was getting moved to 5th grade. And y'all, I was not really happy about that at all, because like I told y'all, I was not ready. I did not want to go to the intermediate grade levels. 3 through 5, no, I did not want to do that. And so I was preparing for that. The other teacher that had helped me previously when I was transitioning to virtual, she helped me move all my things, but I was venting to her while we was doing it. I was venting to her like how I didn't want to do it, and it was just, oh my gosh. I mean, I was going to do it because, you know, I can't say no if I want my job, but at the same time, I just expressed to her that I didn't want to do that, okay, because I felt comfortable doing it. So she talked to another teacher, and that teacher, she was teaching 2nd grade virtually, and she let that teacher know that I wasn't really happy. And the other Miss Johnson, or Miss J, that girl, she is the one that was teaching 2nd grade virtually, and she volunteered to go to 5th grade for me. So instead of me going to 5th, I would take what she had, which was 2nd grade virtually, and she would be going to 5th grade. And y'all, that just really worked out perfectly, because I was comfortable with 2nd grade because I student taught in 2nd grade. And even though it was virtual, I still kind of felt like I had an idea of what I would be doing, and you know. So I had already moved all my stuff to the 5th grade classroom, and once I found out that I could go to 2nd grade instead, I had to move all my stuff from that 5th grade classroom to the 2nd grade classroom that she was in. So we kind of switched rooms, and we didn't really know each other like that, but you know, as time went on, we built a great relationship. And Miss Johnson, if you ever watch this video, I am so grateful for you. Miss Kemp, I'm so grateful for you as well. Love y'all. But yeah, so I got moved to 2nd grade. Well, I went to 2nd grade, and I was still teaching virtually. And let me tell y'all, those kids were amazing. Okay? They were. Like, y'all. Like, even though it was virtual, I don't know. I guess I still found a way to connect with them, because, like, whenever I was in my interviews, they asked me what my strengths were. I told them it was building relationships with my students. And I definitely did that when I was teaching 2nd grade. There were times where I just did not know what I was doing, or I just was not feeling it, or I would just get frustrated because, you know, the kids I was working with, they were below grade level. So I don't know if I was supposed to be doing things differently, but basically I read everything to them, because if I didn't, the work wasn't going to get done. And you know, I talked to parents. I tried to let them know, like, hey, I need you to work with your child to get this work done. And it would happen for like a week or two, and then it would stop. And it just got frustrating. I was like, oh my gosh. I just read everything and let it be that, because they were below grade level. And yeah. So I was teaching 2nd grade, and like I said, I'm gonna keep on saying it. I love these babies. Like, I will insert like clips or like pictures of like things they would message me or say to me, and y'all, they just really made my day. But 2nd grade, I loved it because, you know, I figured out a routine. Okay, I had a schedule, but I figured out, I had found a flow of things. So like before, I was testing different things out, but the thing that worked for me the most was, I started them with morning work. And so once everybody figured out how to do the morning work, I would leave, or I would log on a little early, and I would start playing like some music, and that was just for them to like start entering class. And then they knew that once they logged on, it was time for them to do their homework. And y'all, once I learned about Class Notebook and how it worked, it was over with, okay? Like, I was just so amazed with everything that I could do with Class Notebook. Like, I would literally, I just figured out a system, and I was so excited when I did. Like, I would give them morning work, I had it in their notebook, or I would set it up, and I would send it to all of their notebooks, and then I was able to check and see who did their morning work. And then, yeah, it was just amazing. But yeah, so they would come to class and start on their morning work, and then I had a timer up. And the music was playing. And then when the timer was up, when the timer was done, they knew that we was about to start class. And then I would, because I had my camera off, and then when the timer went out, I would turn my camera on and tell them good morning and everything. And I kind of got them engaged early on because I had like this emoji thing, and I would tell them to put in the chat box how they're feeling this morning. So if there was a 1, each number had an emoji, and it went up to 5, I think. And so I would look in the chat box. I was like, oh, so-and-so's a 1, okay. And then if someone was feeling bad, I'll ask them what was wrong. And it was a good way. I feel like it was a good way to engage the students. And I was so happy when I figured it out, because, I don't know, I felt like a real teacher. I felt like a real teacher when I was doing that. And it was just amazing. And then, yeah. And then math. Math was my favorite thing to teach. Like, I know reading and writing is important, but math was fun, okay? At first, when I started with the Duval math or Eureka math, if you know about it, I was trying to read everything word for word. I would switch it up every now and then, but I would try to read it word for word. And I would try to do everything in the lesson, and it was just, I would get so frustrated because I'm like, how am I supposed to do all this in this amount of time? And, the math, what was it called? What was she called? The math support. She came in and watched teachers and supported them, gave them any tips or whatever. But, like, I expressed that to her, and she was like, well, you don't have to do that. And she was telling me I didn't have to follow everything that was on in the lesson. Like, I just had to pick one, whatchamacallit, the introduction, the little, what is it called? You know what? I'm sorry. I'm just gonna skip. But long story short, I figured out how to navigate and use the Duval math, and that made my life so much easier. Okay, and the thing that I really enjoyed teaching with them the most while I had them was the 3-digit addition and subtraction and all the different strategies, because there was just so many different strategies. And the way the program is set up, you have to teach all the strategies, and the kids have to know them. And yeah, but second grade was awesome. Okay, I even went to 2 of my students, they were cousins. I went to their football game several times, and they was always excited to see me. I was excited to see them. And then I started implementing, I did Saturday with the teacher one time, and only one student wanted to go. Well, more students wanted to go, but they didn't have enough dojo points. They had used their dojo points for something else. But one of my students, this was my baby, y'all. She had to save her dojo points. She did not want to use them for anything except for Saturday with the teacher. And we did Saturday with the teacher. It was so fun. We went to the park. We did ice cream. It was awesome. And yeah, I just love the bond that I made with my kids. There were a lot of difficulties teaching virtually. Like, it's with the background noise, or family members trying to help when actually they weren't doing the child any good. It was a lot, and it was a lot of things I didn't know how to approach, but I tried my best. And for the most part, I was able to have most of them engaged like they were supposed to. And my administrators just thought it was so amazing. Sorry, that was my speaker. My administrators thought it was so amazing how I was able to, you know, navigate all of this. And I did too, because you know what? I don't know. But yeah, so second grade was awesome. I was able to find a flow and find something that really worked for me and my students, and it was awesome until it was about February. End of February, principal came and talked to me, told me I was getting moved to 4th grade. Whew, y'all, I was so distraught. Like, I wasn't crying or anything. I wanted to cry, but I was so distraught because, you know, I hadn't figured out this system of teaching online, and now I had to pack up all my things in my classroom and move to the 4th grade because I was no longer going to be teaching virtually. I was going to be teaching 4th grade in person. And y'all, it was just, I was just so disappointed because I had built a bond with the second graders. I was teaching second graders from my school and from a whole nother school on the other side of town. And the fact that, you know, these kids from the other school just really loved me and I loved them, it was just, as a teacher, that's something I learned. You cannot get attached to these students. And it's hard for me because I love kids, and they are so sweet, and they are funny and everything. And it's just really hard to not get attached, okay? I mean, I'm gonna tell y'all how bad it was, like, at the end of the year for me. But yeah, so I had to leave these second graders, and like, when I broke the news to them, one of them, she had a breakdown, like, and I just felt so bad. The one I did Saturday with the teacher with, she had a breakdown. And I felt so bad for her because she was just so sweet. And, oh, gosh. But yeah. So, got moved to 4th grade. Y'all know by now, I did not want to be there. Okay? But I tried to make the best of it. I was so grateful because the reading interventionist at the school, she was teaching a class, but because she had her position was as the reading interventionist, they needed an actual teacher teaching that classroom. But she stayed in there with me, and I am so grateful because second grade to 4th grade, that was a big jump, and the district, they only give you 2 days to transition. And like, I know I'm a teacher, but the 4th grade math they was doing, I had to refresh my memory on that, okay? With second grade, I could just look at the lesson that day and you know, go with the flow. But with 4th grade, I had to look over that stuff, okay? I went from teaching adding and subtracting 3-digit numbers to working with fractions and decimals, okay? And it's been a while since I did that, so you know, I had to study up on some things. But yeah, the 4th grade class, I'm not gonna lie, it was no walk in the park with them, okay? My second graders and my 4th graders, those were 2 different stories. All right, I love those 4th graders, I love them to death, but you know, there were days where they almost made me lose my mind. Okay, and that is why I did not want to be in the upper grades, because at that age, they start feeling themselves. They start trying to impress their friends and being disrespectful. I'm not gonna say they start being disrespectful and trying to impress their friends and things of that nature, because they do that in second grade too. Okay, but 4th grade is just a whole different story, and y'all, it was a lot different, okay? And I had different teachers telling me it's a good group, but listen, y'all ever heard the saying how one rotten apple can spoil the whole bunch? I had 1 or 2 rotten apples, and they just made things really difficult for the rest of the students, like when I was trying to teach or things of that nature. And I will say one thing that I learned was the importance of setting boundaries and setting those expectations from day one. Now, I didn't do that. Okay, I didn't do that because it was like February, going on March, going on spring break, and I was like, what's the point? And then plus the reading interventionist, she was in there with me, so I was like, okay, well, I mean, she already has a system in place, I'll just follow that system. Listen, when she left the classroom, it's a whole different story. Like, I hate to say that I was that teacher being ran over. I mean, I didn't get ran over, but you know, it was a whole different story. Okay, and I was like, why? How did she get them this way? But I wouldn't say that she's authoritarian, but the way she had that classroom set up, they knew not to play with her. And with me, they thought I was a joke or something, because like they would really try me, and it took me slightly getting out of character for them to straighten up for a few minutes, because it only worked for a few minutes. Okay, I'm not the type of teacher that likes to raise her voice, but I felt that was the only thing I could do to get them to act right, because I don't know, but long story short, yes, it was a very interesting group of students, and it was just one or two that really just kind of messed it up for everybody, because you know, I don't know, it's y'all, but yeah, they had me stressed out. Like, some days I would leave school pissed off because and you know, y'all, I don't know. I mean, I was able to create bonds with the students, like I did with my second graders, some of them, most of them. And I tried to sit down. I sat down. I even had lunch with the students that was causing me problems and asked them, like, why? Why are you doing the things that you do? And I would try to talk to them and let them know the importance of whatever. And it's just like, I don't know, it didn't work. You know, I was able to build connections with some, but not others. So, you know, I did my best. And, you know, one thing I'm going to say is that they really did, those students that they did deal with a lot, because, you know, they did have a lot of transitions throughout the year. Some of them started off virtually, then they came back to the building, then when they got with that teacher, the class sizes got too big, and that's the reason why they had to split up the 4th grade class. So they got split up, and the group that I had, that's the group that got moved to the classroom with the reading interventionist. And let me tell y'all, this same classroom I moved to was the same classroom I moved to before, when I was supposed to go to 5th grade. So I had to go right back to that classroom. But yeah, so they got a new teacher, which was the reading interventionist. Shout out to Miss Clinch. We actually went to the same college. We just graduated different years. Like, she graduated like 2 years before me, but awesome. She was so awesome. She was like my freaking angel for this year. But yeah, so that was their new teacher, and then here I come, another teacher. So they had like 4 different teachers this year, and I would say that's a reason. I don't know, but you know what, I'm not gonna excuse the disrespect, because some of them were just downright disrespectful, and I don't know. But yeah, so that's what happened. I got moved to 4th grade, and that was my last stop for the year. Okay, I stayed with 4th grade, and I learned a lot there. Like I said, I learned the importance of setting expectations and boundaries, because I feel like half of the problems that I had, I would not have had if I had done that, or set those clear expectations. So that's something I learned, and I will definitely implement for next year. Now, before I go on to what will be happening next year, let me just tell y'all, like I said, I just got so attached to the group of students I had. Like, even my 1st graders, like, every time they saw me, they would be so happy to see me. I'd be so happy to see them. And my 2nd graders got attached to them. My 4th graders, even though I was stressed out some days, I still got attached to that group. Okay? It wasn't even the last day of school yet. It was like a week or 2 before. And I had, like, an interview. I'm going to explain that. But I had an interview. And like, I think my I call her my co-teacher, the reading interventionist. She stayed in the room with me like the majority of the rest of the year, and I call her my co-teacher whenever I talk about her to other people. But my co-teacher, she had done like, she took pictures, we took group pictures and everything, she had them printed out, and she gave me like a set of pictures, and I was just looking through the pictures and I just started crying. I'm like, oh my gosh, the year is about to end and I will not see these kids again. I don't know if I'm gonna see these kids again. And the reason being, well, hold on. So yeah, I was crying, and even on the last day of school I was crying because I was like, wow. And it was only like 5 students that came on the last day of school. But like when they was leaving, I gave them hugs and I just started crying. I was not expecting that. Well, I was expecting that. I was trying not to, but I was crying. And like I was in the hallway during dismissal, and I broke down even more. And I went to the bathroom. Y'all, my eyes were so red. Like I didn't even know it was that bad. My eyes were super red. And yeah, it was. I have to learn how to not do it. But listen, y'all. So the reason I had an interview was because, like, I want to say like sometime in May, like the middle of May, my principal had to email me, please come see me. Y'all, whenever my principal would email me something like that, I would always get scared because I didn't know what she was about to tell me. Like I didn't know if I did something bad or I wasn't doing something good enough, or I don't know. But I always got worried. But when she sent me that message, I went and saw her like during my planning break because I just needed to know what she had to tell me. But basically she told me that I was being surplus because there wasn't enough money in the budget for my position or for an additional teacher position. And the reason being is the FTE counts. I don't know if y'all have those, but the FTE counts, because of those numbers, those numbers determine the budget for next school year. And I was like, wow. Like I was really looking forward to going back to either 1st or 2nd grade, but hopefully 2nd grade because I really enjoyed it. And the other teacher in 2nd grade, she was awesome and I could learn a lot from her. But yeah, I was being surplus, so I found out that I would not be at that school the next school year. And it was just, I was not expecting that, but that's what happened. So, news, I have a new school that I'm going to be at, and I met with the principal like my last day of work. Because it was post planning, and you know, I met with my new principal and the school I'm gonna be at, and it's gonna be like a 20-30 minute drive, and I did not like that. Like I was like other teachers, they were telling me to go ahead and start calling around to other schools that I would be interested in working at, and I did that. But what I didn't know is that you had to like put in a transfer application to be able to choose what school you're going to. And so the thing is, like especially with new teachers, you have to be at a school for a year and 11 months before you can transfer. But because I was being surplus, I could choose where I transferred, but I had to turn in an application. And so because I didn't turn in that application, the school that they placed me at is the school I have to stay at. So yeah, I'm at a new school, and I'm going to move all of my belongings, or all my belongings in my classroom like next week. But yeah. So, and then y'all, here's the kicker. So when I first when I went to meet with the principal, she gave me a tour of the school and asked me like what were my preferences, or what experience I had and what my preferences were. And I told her I really wanted to be in primary period. So So when I first met with her, she was like, well, she had a kindergarten position, and then I think she said she had 2 second grade positions, and she said it was a math and science and a self-contained, and I told her I was fine with either of those second grade positions because I love teaching math, and then I taught self-contained when I was doing virtual. I taught everything, so I was fine with either of them. So she was like, she would let me know when, you know, she got more information about, like, I guess where the teachers were going and what, I don't know. So I really thought I was going to be teaching second grade. And about like a week or 2 ago, she emailed me and told me that I would be teaching kindergarten. Okay, so listen, y'all. I'm not gonna say I'm not a kindergarten type of person, but I didn't want to teach kindergarten. Okay, I feel like I sound really picky, but you know, I really wanted to either teach first or second grade. Like, those 2 grade levels are fine with me. Kindergarten, yeah, kindergarten. I'm teaching the babies of the school. I'm teaching the ones that has never been in a school setting. Yeah, I did not want to teach. I did not want to teach kindergarten, but you know, I would rather teach kindergarten than go back to 4th grade or do 5th grade or 3rd grade. I know 3rd grade isn't as bad, but no. So I will be teaching kindergarten next year if nothing changes again. Okay, because you know, I'm traumatized by this past school year by going from 1st to 2nd to 4th. Now I'm thinking like, okay, now I know that I'm teaching kindergarten, but something may change again. And yeah, as of right now. So those are the new things that's going on. I'm at a new school and I'm going to be teaching kindergarten. So whatever tips you all have on kindergarten, please let me know. Please, please, please. I already know of a YouTube channel called Phonics Man. I love him. My second graders loved him, and Miss Johnson, who I switched grade levels with, she used it because she went to kindergarten after going to 5th grade. She found out she was going to kindergarten. So I told her about the channel. Her kiddos love it because she was teaching kindergarten. So I have a YouTube channel that I'm definitely going to use. But anything else about kindergarten, I would really appreciate any advice because I've never been in. Well, I did observe a kindergarten class, but I never thought I'd be teaching it. So any tips would be really helpful. And then something else about this school year. I did not have an ordinary school year last year, and I won't have one this year because, if you don't know, I'm in the military. I'm in the Army. And, hold on, y'all, I gotta place an order. But yeah, so I'm in the military, and I'm in the reserve, the Army Reserve. And so every certain amount of years, the unit has to go on a deployment or a mobilization, and that cycle has come. So I will be going overseas next year. I'll be going on a mobilization. So yeah, I will only be teaching for like half of the year, and I really hate it because I'm going to be teaching kindergarten, and I feel like it's important that their teacher is there like the whole year. But I have to go overseas. So I really hate it. Like, I mean, I didn't volunteer, but I'm choosing to go so that I can get as many benefits as I can. But yeah, this is gonna be a very interesting year. It's gonna be very interesting, and like I said, I hope I don't get attached to these kids. But y'all, I'm kind of feeling excited because, you know, I mean, I'm going to be going into my 2nd year, and I learned a lot last year, and I feel like I'm going to learn a lot this time, being that I'm going to be teaching, and I'm just looking forward to it. Like, I have a few professional developments that I will be attending in July, and my district, they have adopted a new curriculum for reading, and it's called Benchmark Advanced, and I did like some of the pre-work for the PD, and I think I'm gonna really like it. Like, if any of you all have experience with Benchmark Advanced, please let me know that in the comments, like your experience and how you like it and things of that nature, because it seems really good. Like it kind of lays everything out for you, and it looks scientifically proven. I guess that's what it's saying, but it looks really cool. I think I'm gonna like it. So if y'all have any experience with that, please let me know. But yeah, so in conclusion, to sum everything up, this was a very interesting year for me as a first-year teacher while teaching in the middle of a pandemic. It was very interesting. I will never forget this year, this past school year. But I'm looking forward to all of the great things to come for this upcoming school year and the years to come. I don't know if you all remember, but in my previous videos, I've said that I don't plan on making this a career. Like, I thought I did, but you know, like, as time goes on and you learn about different things, you know, your goals and aspirations change. And you know, right now I'm really focused on building generational wealth, and I just have a lot of things that, you know, I could do to start that process, and I feel that teaching is gonna hold me down from it. But I do plan on having like a tutoring service, a free tutoring service for, you know, African American students, because you know, being a teacher and everything I experienced this year, a lot of kids need that extra help and support. And you know, the type of environments that I'm working in, these students, their parents can't afford the tutoring that their children need, and so I want to be able to provide that free of charge. And the only way that I would be able to do that is by having a by doing things that would generate enough money for me to, you know, be able to live off of and support myself. And you know, teaching would not be able to do that in addition to help me build generational wealth. It just would not be possible. So that's why I'm not going to be teaching that long, but I do plan to teach for a little while. So yeah, but stay tuned for the next video where I will be moving my things into my new classroom. That's gonna be a video, and then I'm gonna do one of me actually setting it up, because I'm just gonna be bringing things in. I'm not gonna be setting anything up, just bringing my stuff in. But stay tuned for that. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. I really wanted to do like a giveaway or something, or have like new year teachers, first year teachers, like have some drop their Amazon gift wish list for their classroom, and I buy at least one thing from it, because I want to support new teachers like I was giving support. Because my wish list, a lot of people got me a lot of the things that I wanted, and I was so grateful, and I want to do the same for other first year teachers. So if you are gonna be a new year teacher, a first year teacher, you can in the comments drop your wish list link. But don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and follow me on my teacher Instagram. I'm not consistent on that either, but I'm going to try to be more consistent. So yeah. Yeah, but thank you all so much for watching. I hope I did not discourage anybody, because I don't think anybody should experience what I experienced this past year. I don't think anybody will ever do that, but you know, yeah, thank you for watching. This is my school year, and I'm looking forward to a brighter and better one next year. I will see you all in the next video. Bye. So I just wanted to insert like some things that I captured throughout the school year, and this first one right here is from one of my first graders who I had at the beginning of the school year, and she just wrote this sweet little thing about wanting to be a teacher for her homework assignment, and this just really melted my heart. The other first grade teacher sent it to me, and I thought it was awesome. Alright, this next one is from my student from second grade that did the Saturday with the teacher with me. She would always write like this little note at the beginning of class, and it was just so sweet to me. This right here is another note from one of my second graders, and they would just write me random little messages, and this was before class had even started, and they would just write me little random messages like this, and I just really appreciate it, especially on my bad days. And then this one right here is from my principal. When she did a formal or informal observation, she would always just pop in on me, and I would just always get nervous. But feedback like this, it really made me feel good, made me feel like I knew what I was doing. Finally, this little note right here. This student will always write nice things to me, especially during lessons. And my principal called it one time, and she thought it was the sweetest. And so, yeah, my second grade babies were awesome. Like, I really loved them.